The Red and Blue Review on WBNA coming to you from the Doo-Wop Shop.
And sticking with the musical theme, we're looking for Olivia Newton-John because it's time for UK to get physical.
And it's going to be a red Christmas for Louisville.
And I think we've already got Howie's Christmas up in
that's sweet.
Nice. Guitar.
The Red and Blue Review is brought to you by Doug Jones Home Improvement Company, the Bachman Auto Group, Sam Swope, SWAT Team Pest Control, Joe's OK Bayou, PNC Bank, Allstate Ford Truck Sales, and the Ali Center.
Good to see some familiar faces, some friendly faces. Hopefully they'll still be friendly here in 10 months or so.
Welcome back to the Red and Blue Review. Gupper and the gang, and that was Neil Brown, the new offensive coordinator at the University of Kentucky. And for goodness sakes, Darryl, you better hope everybody's smiling 10 months after his first year on the job.
Yeah, because everybody's got the hire they wanted.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of cry, get Neil Brown, get Neil Brown. Well, you've got him, so we'll see how it goes. Now, on the Louisville side, let's talk about Sugar Bowl. Little taste of the SEC, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's go see how they do against Florida.
And say hello to Louisville's very own Howie Lindsay with CardinalSports.com.
Absolutely. You know, talking about Kentucky, I love cupcakes. You guys know that. But Kentucky's loading up on some cupcakes, getting fat and happy before that U of L UK game. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in that game.
Anybody who has the football schedule that Louisville has next year, you're complaining about cupcakes?
Oh, it's going to be delicious cupcakes.
You think Twinkies went out of business? No, they're playing football in the Big East next year.
You got it.
Called
You got
the
it. It's going to be
University of
tough.
Louisville. That's an awful schedule. By the way, Howie, when I was at the Doo-Wop Shop in Lexington this past week, one of their customers played a few bars of your very favorite all-time song. Let's listen to it right now. Howard, you know that song, right?
Yeah, Cat Scratch Fever.
Yeah.
There you go.
Little Ted Nugent.
There you go. I like it. Not bad.
He's never heard it before in his life. Let's jump right into the lightning round. The lightning round on the Red and Blue Review for old-timers like me and Darryl are brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, reminding you that one text or call could wreck it all. Well, you know, the holidays is a lot about coming back home to family, and that's exactly what Kentucky's new offensive coordinator, Neil Brown, is doing. He is going back home to the place he played football and the place he grew up to help improve UK football.
This state and this university are special to me. This isn't just another job for me. This is personal. I grew up a fan of this football program, played here, have a personal investment in that aspect, and then I've been a supporter. Shoot, I've been a season ticket holder last 5 or 6 years, and I always dreamed about coming back in the right situation. I believe 100% that this is the right situation. I think that was probably as big a deal as anything. But he didn't have to sell me. I've been sold on Kentucky football my whole life.
Neil Brown isn't just a Kentuckian, born in Louisville, spent part of his life in Bardstown, part of his life in Danville, then went to Lexington. He's Kentucky through and through. And with his hiring, it's time for people like me to shut up. Because for years I've been saying you need a defensive coach, but your offense has to be different. You cannot go toe-to-toe in the SEC with these guys. You have to be creative. Hal Mumme had it right. He just lost his mind in the process. Neil Brown, same offense with a little more running game. I think this is the perfect combination, a defensive-minded head coach, an offense that is different, way outside the box to succeed in the SEC.
It really is a reinvention of the air raid.
Yep.
Tim Couch helped to make the decision. He's brought in John Schlarman, who was on the back end of that as one of the offensive linemen. They're really going to go back to that Hal Mumme style of offense, it sounds like.
With a little more of, you know, the pistol has become the phrase this year with RG3. Some of that is thrown in. He realized you have to run the ball in the SEC. You can't just go back and throw it 75 times. You got to have both. So that's going to be the difference, but it's going to look very much like the old air raid. Bring out the sirens one more time.
The big man on campus at the University of Louisville this week is Peyton Siva, who showed his versatility. Against Florida International, the Panthers didn't let Peyton drive to the hole, so he just stood on the outside and knocked down 5 of 8 3-pointers.
He shot 8 shots, and there were 8 threes. But that was by design. We didn't want to let him drive. We basically trapped him when he tried to drive. And he had 12 assists. He knew that it was part of our game plan, was try to take him away. And certainly he did other things. I mean, he is a smart player. I think he's the best point guard in the country.
You know, it just comes with different games. Some games, you know, teams are going to play up on me and make me drive, and some teams are going to back off. So, you know, today was one of those games where they backed off and allowed me to shoot, and, you know, it just felt good.
Nice to have that weapon in there when they won't let you drive, isn't it?
It's definitely, you know, it helps me out just because, you know, it's a, you know, tool that I can use, you know, when teams are backing off of me instead of, you know, because I can use my speed to get around them if they're close. But, you know, for them to back off, it's really good to use, you know, use that jump shot.
And besides being the best point guard in the country, the kid is the nicest person in the world. I mean, he is such a special person. He's really what college basketball is all about, and he deserves success for a long, long time.
If you're not watching that clip, that was actually Richard Pitino, not Rick Pitino. I know they sound exactly alike, but it tells you something with Richard Pitino, who probably knows Peyton Siva as well as just about anybody, certainly any other opposing coach, decides, okay, we're going to pack it in, not let him drive on us and see what he can do. And then Peyton Siva comes out and hits 5 threes. That is extremely impressive. If he can even hit 2 threes a game, it completely opens up Louisville's offense.
Now, was he just hot, or is his shooting touch really fixed?
That's a good question. I think he's probably more hot than being fixed. I think for Peyton, he works so hard on his shot, but it's not quite there yet. But as I said, if he can only hit like 2 of 4, 2 of 3, something like that, it opens up everything else for his game.
Well, the next thing on the rundown has to do with who got busted at the University of Kentucky, and that is all the players that John Calipari is trying to teach them how to play on the collegiate level, including learning how to play physically.
Listen, if we don't start changing, we're going to struggle, just how it is. And we've already struggled in any game that anybody had any physical toughness to them. We struggled. The tape doesn't lie. You watch a little bit of this tape, you see their big guy threw our big guys around. We can talk about the big guys or the guards at Mississippi. Wait till you see their big guys. The big guys at Tennessee, wait till you see their big guys. If their players are throwing us around like is what happened, you know, we just want to be more physical. You got to bend over. You can't stand straight up and down. You can't accept that he's going to beat you to a spot. All those kind of things right now throughout their careers have been acceptable. And it's not anymore.
And the person you hear saying amen to that is one Shane Bohannon, coming up in a couple of weeks in that game. That's been an issue, and if you think it's not, you're crazy. They're just not very physical yet. Nerlens Noel is a really good player, but he's really slender, and Willie Cauley-Stein, sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't, and Alex Porter, same way. When he wants to be the beast, as Cal calls him, he is the beast. When he doesn't, he vanishes, and Marshall's going to give him a pretty good test on how to be physical. Louisville will be a tremendous test, and then comes league play right after that, so you better figure out it's okay in this game to knock each other's heads off, because they do, and you've got to get tough.
Whoever thinks that Richard Pitino is the mini-me of Rick Pitino, you are now officially busted, because Richard Pitino is actually a lot more like Billy Donovan of Florida than Rick Pitino of Louisville.
We just coach differently. I think that he's coached over 800 games, and I've coached 8 games. So certainly we just have different styles. I think we have different personalities. I think he's very, very intense during the game, and if I got that intense, I'd forget where I was, you know. So I'm almost trying to stay calm throughout the course of a game where he's really trying to fire the guys up, and certainly that's his style. That's just not me. I'm just not that type of coach.
Well, I've told him since he's been a young boy, sitting on Billy Donovan's lap. We have all these pictures of him sitting on Billy's lap. The day he went into coaching, I said, you emulate Billy Donovan, every single thing he does. The way he coaches, his demeanor, everything about Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan and Peyton Siva are the 2 people in my lifetime that I not only coached special players, but I coached the 2 of the most special people with just incredible moral fiber, honesty, integrity, doing things the right way for the right reasons all their lives, great family men. So it's, yeah, I told him right away. He said, we were talking sometimes about good young coaches. I said, you're just focusing on one man. And when he got a chance to work for Billy, he came back a much better basketball coach.
I've been extremely impressed with Richard Pitino. The time that he spent at Louisville was tremendous. The knowledge that he brought to the game. I think when he came back from Florida, it was pretty amazing what he had already learned. I think it's difficult because for those of us who look at them and see them and hear them, they think, wow, he's exactly like Rick Pitino. But I think on the court, they're right. He is much more like Billy Donovan than Rick Pitino, and I think that's probably better for his blood pressure and better for his players and probably better for the future. But because Rick Pitino is still, is kind of a more old school coach, I think players today probably respond a little better, maybe to a Billy Donovan type. But Rick Pitino's still getting it done.
The Red and Blue Review is coming to you from the Doo-Wop Shop. 4 locations, a couple in Louisville, Frankfort, and in Lexington. And there's nowhere else in the world you can buy a month's worth of fun for $7.
Guitar rentals start at under $7 a month here at the Doo-Wop Shop. Come see us. Now back to the Red and Blue Review.
We'll hear more from Tony later on in the broadcast. Right now, the good news for Kentucky basketball players and coaches are how knowledgeable the Kentucky fans are, but that's sometimes bad news too.
What's going to happen is they're going to be questioned. Why don't you guys have energy? Why aren't you playing? Why aren't you competing? Are you afraid? What are you afraid of? I mean, and it's out there. I mean, our fans, somebody behind me said, Alex is standing straight up and down. I went, wow, you guys are watching it too, huh? So we all see it, and now what we all want to see is change. Now you can blame whatever you want to blame. Well, when I walk to the locker room, it's so far that I get tired by the time I come back. You say whatever you want to say, but at the end of the day, everybody watching it in the building, on TV, want to see you compete at a higher level. They want to see you battle at a higher level.
What you have to understand, anytime John Calipari speaks, there is a reason. This is the master marketer. He does not say anything without a purpose. Purpose here being to make sure the public can tweak a little bit of pressure on these guys, too, to understand what he's going through right now. He won't ever come out and say, this is his toughest challenge by far. These guys aren't as talented as last year, and nobody expected them to be, but they're probably not as talented as any of the 3 teams so far. And he's got some work to do on getting them to play above what they think they can to get anywhere near where they want to get. And this helps a little bit. In this Marshall game, who would have thought? Circle Marshall. It is a huge game because it's really your last chance to see if this whole Camp Cal 3 practices a day is going to pay off, because you can't fix it now. It's awfully tough to fix it when you're playing Wednesday, Saturday. So this Marshall game is huge. They have to come out and play really well before they go into Louisville and then on into conference play.
Yeah, do not adjust your sets. You actually heard Darryl say, for the defending national champions, Marshall is a big game.
That's right.
Because the world did come to an end. Somebody alert the Mayans they were right. Well, the battle between the Patinos in Louisville tells us this was only the 5th time in history that father went against son in NCAA basketball play.
But I'll tell you what, when the ball went up, I forgot totally that he was at the other side. I really did.
You know, I didn't even know he was down there during the game. I really did.
I thought it was going to be weird. I really did. But then when you get through the course of a game, you're worried about the next play you want to run. You're worried about the next defense you're going to be in. You're worried about who you're going to sub in. So I don't have time to, stare down at my dad and, wave at him. I mean, I got to focus on the game, So it was something. I mean, it was special. I think there was the one time ever where you look down at the bench and you love those guys. I love all those kids. I love the coaches. I certainly love my dad. I love the staff.
There were so many times in Louisville's practices over the last several years that Richard would coach the one team and Rick would coach the other. I mean, they're just used to doing that in practices and things. And so I don't think it was that big of a deal for them to kind of coach against each other. I also think that this is one thing where Rick Pitino and Billy Donovan are very similar. They don't worry about the other coach. Yeah. Nearly all the time, they don't look down there, they don't mess with that. There are coaches that spend a lot of their time looking at the other coach and strategizing, working the refs against the other coach. Rick doesn't do that, Billy doesn't do that, and I don't think Richard does that either.
When we come back here on the Red and Blue Review, as you know, Santa airs it out on Christmas Eve. Kentucky is going to start airing it out in September. Darryl will tell us about that after he tells us about the Cat's Paws.
And we can't wait to start writing about that, too. We do appreciate it. Christmas time, perfect time for a Cat's Paw subscription, either the magazine or the website at catspaws.com. It's the gift that keeps on giving, as Clark Griswold would say. You know how that goes. 800-641-3302.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Did you know that 2/3 of all truck-related crashes are actually caused by cars? Large trucks carry heavy loads and need more room to stop than cars. Merging without leaving enough space between you and a truck could cost you a ticket, or something much worse, your life. Law enforcement will be out on the road writing tickets to make sure both truck and car drivers stay safe. Before merging, be sure you can see both of the truck's headlights in your rear view mirror to ensure proper braking room. This message brought to you by the KSP Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division.
Buying your next VW from Bachman Volkswagen will be a great experience. No games or gimmicks, competitive prices, and a huge inventory make #1 Bachman the place to get your Volkswagen. The all-new 2012 Jetta, an IHS top safety pick, is a great vehicle and fun to drive. Or get the sporty all-new 2012 Volkswagen Beetle. It's back and better than ever. Come to #1 Bachman Volkswagen today to get your new Volkswagen before someone else does.
Bachman makes a difference.
Yeah, I just picked her up. We should be there in 20 minutes.
Who is it? Oh, it's him. Where is he?
I know. Yeah, I know.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside.
For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
We didn't always watch football at Buffalo Wild Wings.
So great to see you guys outside the office.
So you brew your own beer?
Yeah, for you, bratwurst beer, and this one's a secret. Drink up. This one's ready in 2 minutes.
Protect the football. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Hi, this is Tony from the Doo-Wop Shop, and I have a great idea for your New Year's Eve party. Karaoke. This karaoke machine has over 1,000 songs built in it, and I can rent it to you for under $60 a week. Just come see me at the Doo-Wop Shop. Now back to the Red and Blue Review.
Thank you, Tony. Gupper and the gang here. We're going to hear from Tony and Allie in just a bit, playing a fantastic song for you coming up here from the Doo-Wop Shop and the Red and Blue Review. In this segment, we're going to do our first glimpse ahead to UK versus U of L in basketball in our Game Time storylines. This portion of the Red and Blue Review brought to you by Kentucky State Police to remind you to leave space for trucks. Game Time storyline #1, as Daryl mentioned in the first segment, it looks like those air raid sirens are going to be sounding once again, sort of like the phone here in Commonwealth Stadium.
The base plays that you're going to see on Saturday afternoons when Coach Mumme was here, those base plays are the same. Those base plays are really the same that you're seeing at West Virginia be highly successful. They're the same plays we used at Texas Tech. Oklahoma State's using those same plays. Oklahoma's using those same plays. Those same base plays really haven't changed since 1997 when Coach Mumme brought those to really big-time college football. Now, what we've done, I guess we've made a more concerted effort to run the football is the best way to put that. We're playing at a faster pace, and we dress those plays up with motions, with different formations. Those are the things that the fans are going to notice.
And if you can't watch Texas Tech highlights here without getting fired up, there's something wrong with you, because it looks so familiar to what we saw, and these guys just put up points and points and points. #2 passing attack in the entire country. How long has it been since you've been able to say that around anything about Kentucky? Maybe 102 at one point this year. It got so bad. So the air raid is coming back. The wide receiver screens are all coming back. It's going to be so much fun to put an exciting brand of offense on the field again.
Well, Kentucky fans are feeling a little bit better about playing Louisville at the end of this basketball calendar year, 2012, if Gorky Jang doesn't play. But now Rick Pitino is throwing some concerns on that because he says don't count Gorky out of the lineup just yet.
I wouldn't say Gorky's, 100% not playing at Kentucky. I think that's pretty much a tough game to throw him into first game back. That's why I was hoping he'd get some time against Western. But, this Tuesday will be 4 weeks, and the doctors say 4 to 6 weeks. Now, the last X-ray was not healed. So, he is practicing. He's in great shape. He's ready to play from a physical standpoint, but we have to get him back by Providence. We have to because they're playing very good basketball.
I'm going to play Johnny Carson here. I'm going to say Gorky Jang is going to have a Christmas miracle. He's going to play against Kentucky. What do you think? I think some of this is, Gorky's actually hurt, and absolutely, they're working him back into it. I think the other side of this is they'd love to get him back as quickly as possible. I think Gorky Jang, when you talk to him, he says, I'm playing against Kentucky.
Now, did Cat fans pay attention there?
Yeah.
He hopes to have Gorky for UK, but he has to have him for Providence because they're playing really well.
Yeah.
So what's that mean? Kentucky's terrible?
It means the Marshall game is huge.
It is indeed.
That's what it means. The Red and Blue Review is coming to you from the Doo-Wop Shop, where you can be the life of your own party.
Hi, I'm Tony from the Doo-Wop Shop. If you'd like to DJ your own party, we have DJ systems for as little as $50 a week. We also rent DJ lights and wireless mics. Now back to the Red and Blue Review.
It's a party in a box around here. Welcome back to the Red and Blue Review here from the Doo-Wop Shop. 4 locations across the Commonwealth, 2 in Louisville, Frankfort, and in Lexington. And Neil Brown's already talked a little bit about that former Texas Tech #2 offense that he's bringing to Kentucky and the secret to its success.
Well, I think what it does is the tempo really affects people, okay? The tempo really affects people. The second thing that happens is when you spread the field out, okay, the skilled people are easier to recruit, okay? You can find there's not a great deal of difference in the number one wide receiver in the country and the number 25 receiver in the country. There's not that much difference at all, okay? And we can recruit a lot of good skilled people, put them in space, okay, and make people tackle in space. I think that's the number one thing
we've got going on. UK always in the SEC. Their running backs are smaller. Their wide receivers are smaller. So get those dudes out in space. Let them have the ball, and let's see what magic they can work. It's going to be fun. Then add in up-tempo on top of air raid.
Well, beating Western Kentucky and Nashville is not only big to continue Louisville's momentum, but it also helps the players have a longer holiday break from Coach Pitino.
We just got to go there, handle business before the break. You don't want to play too bad because, Coach is being nice this year. We're lucky to have two days off, even 1 day off we're lucky. So for us to have some time off is pretty good, and we just got to keep outside of the bargain up by handling business against WKU.
I'm certainly conflicted because I, grew up a Hilltopper and also with Louisville. But I think Louisville's going to handle this fairly effectively. Roll right into that UK game, and for Louisville, it's all about that UK game. So many people are looking forward to that. Check out CardinalSports.com for all the coverage of that game coming up on the website.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Yeah, I just picked her up. We should be there in 20 minutes.
Who is it? Oh, it's him. Where is he?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Buying your next VW from Bachman Volkswagen will be a great experience. No games or gimmicks, competitive prices, and a huge inventory make #1 Bachman the place to get your Volkswagen. The all-new 2012 Jetta, an IHS top safety pick, is a great vehicle and fun to drive. Or get the sporty all-new 2012 Volkswagen Beetle. It's back and better than ever. Come to #1 Bachman Volkswagen today to get your new Volkswagen before someone else does.
Bachman makes a difference.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside.
For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
I just picked her up. We should be there in 20 minutes.
Who is it? Oh, it's him. Where is he?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Hey, this is Josh at the Doo-Wop Shop. No, up here, up here. Hey, this is Josh at the Doo-Wop Shop in Lexington. If you're having a big event and you need a PA, come down and see us at the Doo-Wop Shop in Lexington. We'll fix you right up. Now back to the Red and Blue Review.
Welcome back to the Red and Blue Review here at the Doo-Wop Shop. And finally, after 7 years, we get some talent on this show. Tony McElwain and Allie Summers are going to play for you our Red and Blue Review Doo-Wop Shop Christmas card video. Merry Christmas from Red and Blue and the Doo-Wop Shop.